When families come to me and they are stuck with handwriting, they tell me all the things they've tried, right? And what usually happens is what they've tried is a good idea, makes sense, sounds right, but we need to stop doing all of that and just get a handwriting reset. I'm Nicole Santa Maria, Pediatric Occupational Therapy, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by stopping all the things that you've been trying to do to help your kids' handwriting and show you how to start a reset so you can put yourself on the right path so you can actually get past this handwriting thing and not have to think about it again. So when families come to me, they've tried so many things. The most common ones are practicing, right? More workbooks, more worksheets, erasing, doing over is a very popular one. Sometimes they try and think a little bit bigger, or the recommendations are a little bit bigger than just handwriting. So the very common one is fine motor skills, right? Which is so obvious because you need your hands to hold a pencil and write. Another one is, okay, handwriting is hard to read, it's illegible. Let's go back to what we know, right? The most common thing we know when it comes to handwriting is when the kids are in pre-K, kindergarten, depending where you are, they start teaching you, hopefully, if you're lucky, they actually taught your kindergartner how to form letters. We're gonna make a circle and a stick, a circle up, down, step by step, right? So the thing is, with all of those three strategies, they make sense, they have good intentions behind them, but most of the time, I'm gonna say most of the time, they don't work because you're basically reinforcing some bad habits with the practice, right? You be surprised to know that you only need a minimal amount of fine motor skills to write legibly. Fine motor skills is a tool use, really, not fine motor skills, is one of the small parts that you need to produce legible handwriting, but it's not one of the big players. And then when it comes to letter formation, the problem with that is our kids are already in the real world writing, copying off the board, having to turn things in, and they're not in pre-K and they're not in kindergarten. So going back and practicing on how to write the letter A, number one, is kind of offensive to your older child. They really don't like it. And honestly, it doesn't really help put all the pieces together so they can have legible handwriting. So now let me know here, if you're watching this video, how old is your kiddo? Are you looking for, is your kiddo like a kindergartner, or are we looking at more of a third grader, second grader, fourth grader that's really struggling with handwriting? Let me know in the comments below. I have a legibility reset guide that I created just for this reason because I see it happening over and over and over again. That's linked in the bottom of this video, but we're gonna go through 3 steps that help us reset handwriting. We have talked about cognitive load and how executive functioning skills really play such a big part when it comes to handwriting, right? So we want to really reduce that cognitive load. We want to reduce and support executive functioning skills as much as we can when we're really trying to strategically improve the handwriting skills. Sessions should be short. They should not include higher cognitive things such as spelling. Yes, spelling goes out the window when we're trying to improve handwriting practice. When we're trying to improve, spelling goes out the window when we're trying to improve handwriting skills. And we want the amount that we have to write to be very short and repetitive. Step 2 is we want to build automatic letter patterns. So we want to go over groups of words or letters that kind of look the same, start the same way, are the same size. So that way, remember, we're talking about cognitive load. We're really concentrating on, let's say, the small letters, right? We're really concentrating on letters that start from, with a stick. So that way, that piece of the beginning of the puzzle, which talks about task initiation, right? We know is the same. We're not having to flip between tall letters, small letters. It makes it a lot easier to make progress. Remember, throughout all of this, we're looking for how many wins can we put in place, because part of this all is reframing how the child thinks about handwriting, right? So many times the kiddos are caught in the spiral of handwriting is bad, they gotta sad face, they got a red check minus because somebody along the way told them they had bad handwriting. And that really changes their own story about it. So we need to kind of counteract that with micro wins as fast as we can and as often as we can. So by reducing the cognitive load, making sure handwriting sessions are short and they kind of have a theme to them, and reframing the child's own perception of themselves, that's the first step we need to build that automatic handwriting that all of our kids need. When I created the Legibility Reset Guide, I made it specifically for parents just like you. You're worried that your child is struggling so much that they either are currently behind now, or you're just getting your gut parent feeling that this handwriting thing isn't going to go away by itself, or you may be just having a hunch that I need to make the handwriting go a little bit smoother. You may or may not use the word automatic so that as the demands increase, this handwriting piece won't hold them back. So I really think this handwriting guide is going to be really useful for parents, because not only does it take some of the things that we already do, that we commonly do, but it gives you the opportunity to customize it for your own child, right? Each part of this has one of the myths, one of the things that we try that probably don't work, and it gives every family the opportunity to customize it by doing one of the activities and seeing how your kid actually shows up, right? So it's not just a generic PDF that you're going to read and be like, okay, it has the quick actionable items, and you can really see how these 3 things are impacting your child in everyday life. And the beauty of this is that once you figure that out, you can just skip past it and move on to things that actually are going to help your child, like making sure you build that automatic handwriting. By supporting the executive functioning skills that are related to handwriting. So the link to that guide will be right below this video. You go ahead and sign up, you get an instant download, and you'll be able to go ahead and start your reset guide as soon as today.